Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Paweł Samecki, and I am in charge of the organization of this conference. I would like to ask Mr. Marek Belka, President of the National Bank of Poland, to address the conference.
Mr. President, President Trichet, ladies and gentlemen, it is an honor for me to open this conference. It gives me a great pleasure to look around the room and see the distinguished guests from international institutions, governments, central banks, academia, research centers, and companies. I would like to welcome you all and thank you for joining us in Poland at the time of the first Polish presidency of the Council of the European Union to participate in our discussions here. The conference is taking place under particular circumstances as the European project is at its critical juncture. Critical, but not fatal. It may seem irrational to talk about greater and broader integration of Europe when Europe is struggling to overcome these divisions exacerbated by the recent economic crisis and to save fundamentals on which the common European project has been built. When solidarity, commitment, and unity seem to be at stake. But that is exactly why your presence here is so highly important. Key problems challenging the future of the European integration have to be tackled together. This conference is intended to be a platform for exchanging views and identifying solutions to challenges faced by Europe in the new century. I am deeply convinced that we need to pool our knowledge and experience to make sure that we are heading for a more integrated and stable European economy. We need to make sure that the European project is given a way forward. The collective outcome of the debates like the one here could become a signpost for those who guide Europe. Let me now turn to the substance of this particular conference. In the course of the next 2 days, discussion will focus on how to foster the stability and shape the future of the euro area, how to address the challenges ahead of Central, Eastern, and Southeastern Europe, how the European economy and its banking sector are going to change in the next few years, and finally, what the destiny of the euro is. Given the inherent differences in economic conditions prevailing in the east and west of Europe, the first day of the conference has been divided into 2 blocks. To facilitate the economic analysis, the focus will be first on the euro area, to subsequently switch to East European countries. The features of the euro area indisputably vary from those of Eastern countries. Thus, also the challenges these are bound to face are not essentially the same. Still, despite their variety, they are strongly intertwined. The process of European integration taking place over the past 6 decades has made obstacles as well as economic and policy objectives in the West and in the East inseparable. Consequently, interconnections between Eastern and Western Europe need to be fully recognized. A systemic approach is pivotal. The straightforward divergence in economic conditions in the East and West may be misguiding as long as policy decisions are taken independently without proper consideration of economic ties between both sides of the continent. Disconnecting Eastern states from the core of Europe would be harmful for the old continent's economy. The European Union should be a catalyst for cooperation. The proposals advocating the need for wrapping the euro area in new institutional arrangements, isolating it from the rest of the EU, should be avoided. They would create a distance between the Eurozone and the rest of Europe. The euro area certainly needs reforms. The treatment shall take into account euro area peculiarities, albeit it shall not separate the European Monetary Union from a wider context. That is, from the European Union and its non-euro area member states willing to deliver essential effort and commitment. Europe is our collective responsibility. It would be unfair to pretend that the crisis has not changed anything. The crisis has led to insecurity and redefinition of attitude towards the euro, both inside and outside the eurozone. Financial market sentiment has also been affected. Suddenly, the difference in risk and credibility of countries within the euro area have been noticed and reassessed by investors. Consequently, the cost of capital for countries willing to enter the euro area has increased, whereas the attractiveness of the euro has declined. Poland's aspirations to adopt the euro have also been slightly revised following the outbreak of the crisis. Poland remains strongly committed to join the euro area, although for the time being it would not be reasonable to determine any specific date for the euro adoption. Before it happens, it is of utmost importance to prepare well the Polish economy for the change. Furthermore, the rules inside the euro area should be appropriately tailored so as to safeguard the stability of the EMU. Ladies and gentlemen, while the first day debate is concentrated on short and medium-term aspects of European integration, the second day of the conference is essential for gaining a wider or more comprehensive approach to the European project. The lens of purely economic research remains important. Nonetheless, there is a need to incorporate a second lens in the analysis, a socio-political process shaping the euro area. The second day discussion will not be restricted by timeframes. It will go back to the origins of the EMU and look forward into the future. Does the EMU of today correspond to what it was intended 20 years ago? What to do in order to preserve it? How to mobilize political support to ensure the continuity and development of the EMU? These important questions will be wide open. Before I finish, I would like to recall the words of Milton Friedman. Oh, this is a time when Milton Friedman is being quoted in surprising contexts. I'm not always sure that he would be totally pleased with how we use his words, but let me come back to the text. So the words of Milton Friedman, who once noted that the facts change from one decade to the next. That is part of what makes economics so endlessly fascinating. But many of the questions that economists put to those facts remain. They do so both because the analytical issues that these questions involve are interesting in themselves, and also because they bear on perennial matters of public policy import. I believe this conference is going to bring us a little bit nearer to the answers we are all searching for. Once again, I want to welcome you all in Warsaw. Thank you for your attention.